Let us see the rock cycle. Have you understood, children, what is the main source of all the rocks? It is the magma which is present in the Earth's mantle. From this layer, it is reaching to the surface of the Earth, thus forming igneous rocks. When the magma reaches to the surface of the Earth, it gets solidified there and it has formed igneous rocks. Due to some weather conditions like withering and soil erosion and the transportation uh, of wind and water, these rocks are moving from one place to other and they are forming sediments. The rock has broken down into small fragments and formed sediments, and when it is exposed to high temperature and pressure, they are compressed into sedimentary rocks, and these sedimentary rocks are in layers, and these are called as stratified rocks. The example for sedimentary rock is limestone, and these sedimentary rocks and even the igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, sometimes they transfer or they change into metamorphic rock. Suppose if the limestone, the example for sedimentary rock limestone, when it is exposed to high temperature and pressure, it is converted into a marble, which is an example of metamorphic rock. This metamorphic rock again, it will melt and it will enter into the magma chamber. Again this magma will rise up to the earth's crust, and again igneous rocks will be formed, and again due to withering and soil erosion sediments will form and sedimentary rock will form, and again these will convert into metamorphic rock. So it is a cyclic process. All this will repeat again and again. So this rock cycle is a continuous process. See your textbook, page number 101, write values. Be aware of the difference between a need and a want. A need is something we cannot live without, like food, water, and air. A want is something that we desire but can live without. So you all understood what's the difference between need and a want, right? A need is the basic thing, like we need food to eat, we need water to live, and all. These are the needs. A want means I want to eat something, I want to eat pizza, I want to eat noodles. All these are the wants. Even without these wants, we can survive, but needs are the basic things which we need to survive. So, wants we can control, and many of us know that very well in this season because we are not having any shopping malls, we are not having anything. So, we are controlling our wants. So, we are running only with the needs. So, you understood clearly, I guess. So, need is nothing but the basic thing which we need to survive, and the wants are our desires, like I want to have a car, I want to have a big bungalow. All these are the wants. So we have to have control over our wants, and we need to have our basic needs. And see the life skills here. We should use fossil fuels carefully. Can you give some examples for fossil fuels? When I explained, I said what are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are gases, oils, petroleum. All these come under fossil fuels, and we have to use these fossil fuels in a proper way, as they are non-renewable source of energy. Means if we use that, that won't come back. If I am owning my bike and if I am going to some distance, that petrol what I have used will not come back. So these are non-renewable energy sources, so we have to use them in a proper way and we should not waste them. And see page number 97, warm up. Here he has actually given two pictures. One is a diamond, the other one is rock. So you understood the lesson completely, right? You know what is the difference between rocks and how are rocks formed and all. So I said when I explained the lesson, rocks are three types depending upon what conditions they are divided. Depending upon the texture, depending upon the color, depending upon the size, they are of two types. Here the diamond is also made of rock. And the similarities between the normal rock and the diamond is both of them are made of carbon. But the diamond has become a precious, beautiful stone, and the rocks are the same.
The journey of these emissions begins deep underground in the Earth's core. The core, which can burn as hot as the surface of the sun, transfers its heat to the surrounding rocky mantle. In doing so, the heat melts some of the rock. This molten rock, or magma, is lighter than the surrounding solid rock layer, so it rises through the mantle. The magma then escapes through vents in the Earth's crust, causing volcanic eruptions. Now above ground, this magma is referred to as lava, and it can reach temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Under the ground, there is hot, molten rock. This is called magma. When magma cools, it becomes rock. Magma comes up to the surface from volcanoes. It forms rocks above the surface. Magma can also cool under the surface. It makes rocks under the ground. The rocks that are formed from magma are called igneous rocks. The Earth's crust is made mostly of igneous rocks. There are over 700 kinds. Sometimes pieces of rocks, minerals, and soil are moved by wind and water. They are carried to a different place. They are piled up together. They pile up under lakes and oceans. They get pressed together over time. The rocks that are formed in this way are called sedimentary rocks. That's because the parts that make them up are called sediments. Other rocks change from one kind to another. Metamorphic rocks change form. That's what their name means, to change. These rocks are often formed under mountains. The pressure or heat changes these rocks. Basalt can change into granulite. Limestone can change into marble.
Hope you understood, children, the different layers of the earth and different types of rocks. And I would like to say about minerals. Minerals are the chemical compounds normally crystalline in nature. And the examples of minerals are calcium, sodium, iron, zinc, potassium, magnesium. All these are the examples of minerals. And minerals are divided into metallic and non-metallic minerals. And if the amount of metallic minerals are high, then we call it as ore. The examples are iron ore, copper, and bauxite. And there are non-metallic minerals. The example for it is limestone. And now let us see fossil fuels. Fossils are nothing but the remains of the prehistoric plants and animals, or the decomposition of plants and animals. We call it as a fossil. The examples of fossil fuels are cooking gas, oil, and petroleum. These are the examples of fossil fuels. And the uses of minerals, rocks are used in construction, in making cement, concrete, and all. And these are used in industries, these are used in factories. And soapstone and marble are used in making sculptures. And the fossil fuels are used in cooking, driving vehicles, and factories. And children, I have given notes for this lesson, and I have made few modifications from the questions that you see in the textbook, and there is a little change. Please do follow that and draw the diagram in the end of the lesson. After writing all the questions, draw the diagram. Thank you.